The only thing I did not like about Courtroom is that there's not enough of it. Each episode is 20 minutes, and it's 20 of the best minutes I can spend. I am obsessed, as a lot of people know, with true crime, and I love the judiciary system. I write crime fiction, so I'm always interested in anything that takes us directly into the legal system, into a courtroom, and allows us, as a viewer, to see judges and barristers and lawyers at work. This series allows us to see some very bizarre cases. These are primarily all American. There are a couple that are not. I think there's maybe one Russian one, but they are largely all American cases. Primarily, I guess, because we don't allow cameras in the courtroom in the UK, which is a massive shame for my own selfish needs. You know, I'd love to see the footage of UK courts, especially Crown Court. It would be pretty exciting. But Courtroom is incredible. It's hosted by Dan Abrams, who I really like. I think he's got a great presenting style. He delivers the clips really well, and at the end of pretty much every episode, not everyone, but at the end of most episodes, he has a small interview with somebody seen in the show's final clip. So never a defendant, but maybe a judge or a claimant, somebody who's related to the victim, and they explain what happened in the courtroom in more detail. But largely, these clips just show us some very crazy courtroom scenes. Now, I would love to go into extensive detail about some of my favourites, but I don't want to spoil it, because obviously the benefit or the selling point here is the shock factor. We watch these clips not knowing what kind of crazy thing is going to happen next, and there are some crazy things. Some of them are very boring. I mean, not boring, that's not the right word, but some of them are quite tame. They're not over the top, but for the most part, they're pretty outrageous. A lot of them are involving fights in the courtroom, but there are some pretty unique ones. There's one where there's a judge who's got a very unique style of sentencing, a unique deliverance of punishments, which is definitely worth watching. There's that famous clip of the judge meeting a defendant who she went to school with, and that's Judge Mindy Glazer, and I love her. There are several clips with her, and I always love her style of, communication. I think she's brilliant and needs her own show. I would watch that, and I love that. There are, for the most part, these are cases against the defendant. It's usually the defendant or the defendant's family who cause a chaos. They try and escape, they beat somebody up, they say something outrageous. But there are a few where it's the judge or another professional within the system who is called out. There are a few where judges have been reprimanded. There were two particular cases to look out for that I think are disgusting, and I wanted to punch somebody, and it broke my heart. There was the one where the judge spoke horrifically, and I mean disgustingly, to a domestic abuse victim. And I won't say what the outcome was or what she said, but I will say that what happened to that judge afterwards was worth it. Was definitely not enough, not even enough, but certainly a step in the right direction. And the other one was about the woman who was asked to lift up her top for a drug search. Again, I can't say too much, but that one I thought was just horrendous. And the worst person in that room was not the person who asked her to lift it up, not the policeman who was trying to arrest her, but the judge, the female judge. I thought she was a vile, disgusting woman in that moment. Maybe she was having an off day. Maybe she's a nice person, a nice judge, really. But no, she really riled me up. It's a brilliant show. I could talk about these clips forever. There are so many that I loved because they were shocking, or I hated them because they were shocking and they really made me really angry. There are some very stupid people in this world as well. Some very big idiots who think that they have more rights than they do. For example, being allowed to film in court. Personally, it's like, this is my right to freedom. No, it isn't. People who try and pretend they know all about the law when they're getting done for like a carrying drugs or something, and they know nothing. It's entertaining to watch because they're making fools of themselves. If they just be quiet, apologize, accept the sentence, 10 days in prison or something, just get on with it. But it's so fascinating, and I really adore this series. Some of the clips were a little fuzzy, just based on the court cameras, but some of the clips are very clear, and you feel like you're there, and it's immersive, and I love it so, so much. The latest series, I point out as well, I watched the first 2 series on Amazon Prime under Crime and Investigation. I watched the 3rd series on YouTube like a terrible person. I actually think they were properly uploaded to YouTube by an official source. If not, then I will watch them again on Amazon Prime whenever they're uploaded. The last series was out this year, so hopefully there'll be more. It's definitely done well because the first series was like 8 episodes, and then the second and third are like 20 episodes each. Definitely a fantastic show. I really adored it. We need more. I only wish we had cameras in the UK to have some UK footage. But honestly, Courtroom is one of the most thrilling, exciting, well presented, well executed, terrible word choice, Amy, fantastic shows I've ever seen. I love it.